How to create a website using the 2021 theme from WordPress? Let's get to it. What's up everybody, it's David from websitecreatepro.com. Now in this tutorial video, I'm going to walk you through step 1 to step done on how to create a very beautiful, effective, responsive website using the 2021 theme. This theme is fantastic because it looks great on mobile devices, it has a minimalistic style that I think you're going to really like and appreciate, and it works really well with the Gutenberg editor, which is the default block editor that comes with your WordPress installation. As this is a step 1 to step done tutorial, that means I'm going to walk you through everything that you need to know to create a website. We're going to be getting a domain name at Namecheap, which is a domain name registrar. Then we're going to be getting a shared hosting account at Bluehost. Then I'm going to show you how to install WordPress and design your website. Like always, make sure to check the links in the description for timestamps and any resources mentioned in this video. So let's begin. Welcome to my laptop. Let's begin. So this is the website I'm going to show you how to design. And this is completely using just Gutenberg and the 2021 theme. It's pretty impressive. So I'm going to show you how to set up a logo, menu bar, how to set up this nice call to action, and then how to add different elements to your website, like a visual menu for specific pages on your website, maybe another section for like a call to action, how to add in like your latest blog post, how to add in like maybe a quick little bio about yourself, an email opt-in form, how to properly set up the footer by adding like a disclaimer, your legal pages, how to hide the powered by WordPress option there, as well as like custom information about like how to properly set up the blog page, to have feature images and appropriate categories, how to set up breadcrumbs, as well as like a disclaimer for each individual blog post with ease, as well as how to set up an about page and a contact page. So let's begin. Let's get a domain name. So the first step in getting a website set up is to register a domain name at a domain name registrar. Now, most of you may be more familiar with something like GoDaddy, but Namecheap is my preferred registrar because they have better prices than GoDaddy, and they also have much better prices than any web host where you can get your domain name. Anyways, to get started is very simple. You just type in the domain name that you want to register right here. So I'll type in my amazing website wp.com. All right, let's go ahead and click on search. And there we go. So now it's $8.80 a year, and to just get started, all you have to do is add to cart. Now, if it comes up as not available, then you may have to type in a different combination for your .com. You can also jump into beast mode and kind of narrow down things of different like TDLs that you want to use, like if you want to get like a .net, .org, but I definitely suggest sticking to a .com. Anyways, just click on add to cart. Okay, and let's go ahead and click on checkout. And that is it, okay? And so now you just have to confirm your order and submit payment. You will have to create a Namecheap account. And there you go, and that's how you register a domain name. So for the registration, you can have auto renew on or off. That's totally up to you. And you can register your domain name for up to 10 years in advance. And so it's up to you how long you want to register that for. And then you get whois with Namecheap for free. And what this does is it keeps your contact information private, because part of ICANN rules when you register a domain name is you have to provide accurate, up-to-date contact information. whois just keeps everything private, and you get it completely for free with Namecheap. And anyways, that's how you register a domain name. Now we're going to get a shared hosting account. So what a shared hosting account is just a small piece of an industrial strength server that's on 24/7, so your website is available 24/7. Now the shared hosting account that I really like and recommend for beginners is Bluehost, primarily because they are the #1 recommended web host by Bluehost. They are very user friendly, they provide good support, and they're just overall they have a good user experience, they're easy to use, and they provide good hosting. Anyways, to get started with Bluehost, it's very simple. Just click on this big get started button right here. Alright, so now you should be looking at their pricing table for their different plans. Now, honestly, I recommend Choice Plus. This is what this is the account that I personally use and have. This is a account where you get enough resources to build your website to over 1,000 visitors a day. And once you're at that level, 1,000 visitors or more a day, then you can make that decision whether or not you want to move away from Bluehost and go with a web host that's more geared for larger websites or upgrade to their Pro plan, whatever. But I really like their Choice Plus plan. Now, their basic, while very affordable, you only can have one website, so for me, that's a deal breaker. Their Plus plan is pretty good too. But I just like the Choice Plus because it gives you enough resources to really build a website, to really scale up a website. And also you get a great deal. It's like 36 months at $5.45 a month. Now it does renew at $14.99, but you can lock in this low price. All web hosts do this. They offer very low rates as an introduction rate. So I definitely recommend 36 months. That's a lot of time. That's a great price. Anyways, to get started, just click on select. Alright, so now you have to select your domain name. So either create a new domain name or use a domain name you own. Now, if you go here to create a new domain name, I don't recommend this because this is going to register a domain name through Bluehost. And Bluehost charges, I think, $17.99 per domain name, whereas Namecheap, you were paying $8.88. That's why we use Namecheap, because we save money and they're a proper domain name registrar. Instead, we want to use a domain name we own, which is what we registered at Namecheap. So just go ahead and put in your .com right here. And now you have to create an account. So I'm not going to insult your intelligence and walk you through how to pay for something online. Just fill out your account information. Come down here, make sure you have your package information. You can select 12, 24, or 36. Right down here, we can uncheck Site Lock Security Essentials. We don't need that, so just go ahead and unclick this. Then come down here, put your credit card information in, come all the way to the bottom, say that you have read and agreed to Bluehost renewal service and terms of use, and then click on submit, and you are good to go. Welcome to Bluehost.com. So once you submit payment, you're going to be presented with an onboarding process. You can just go ahead and click on skip at the very bottom of the web page. Just skip, because you have this tutorial to follow, so you don't need to do the onboarding process. Once you get here, this is your dashboard. Now right up top here is where your domain name is, but you should be looking at something that says like box temporary 1234. That's totally fine because you registered your domain name at Namecheap. So what you need to do now is set up the name servers at Namecheap to have them point to your shared hosting account. And I'm going to show you how that's done. So you have a domain name at a domain name registrar and you have a shared hosting account. How do you connect the two? It's very simple. You have to have your name servers at your domain name registrar point to that of your shared hosting account. Now that sounds way more complicated, but it's really not. It takes about 5 minutes and I'm going to show you how it's done right now. Pointing your name servers at Namecheap to your hosting account at Bluehost. This is short and sweet and going to be super easy. So the first thing that you need to do is jump into your email that you use when you sign up for Bluehost, and you should receive a welcome email. And at the bottom of the welcome email, you're going to see something that says name server, NS1 Bluehost and NS2 Bluehost. And so then you have to navigate back over to your Namecheap account or whatever domain name registrar you're using, and then go into manage your domain name. And now we want to navigate down here where it says name servers. Now you want to make sure to come down here, and it should say Namecheap Basic DNS. You want to change that to Custom DNS. Then all you have to do is copy and paste in NS1 Bluehost and NS2 Bluehost, and that's it. And so once you do that, you're going to see this little green check mark appear right there. Make sure to click it. And that saves your name servers. Now it says it could take up to 48 hours to take effect for everything to propagate. From my experience, it usually takes between 10 minutes to 30 minutes. I've never seen it take that long, but just take a quick little break. Take 10-minute break. It should propagate within that time, and that is how you set up name servers. Once you set up name servers properly and you give it like 10 minutes or so, it should propagate and you should start seeing your domain name right here. And this is going to be called the primary domain name for your account. Okay, so anyways, now it's time to install WordPress. Now what's awesome about Bluehost is that they make it so easy where WordPress is actually already installed. Once you set up the name servers, everything's probably good to go and you kind of can just launch your website. But I don't like that because I want to have a little bit more control over the login information. So anyways, let's just go to My Sites. Now I'm actually going to go ahead and delete the site. And I suggest that you do the same as well. Okay, so now we're going to add a site from scratch. Now don't worry, everything's set up still. Like you have your name servers pointing to your shared hosting account. It's totally fine. Now go ahead and click on add site. Now here you can put in the site name. So I'm going to put in the site name, which is my name, and the site tagline, I'll just leave that blank, or you can just put in something that you want. I could just say like hello world, something as simple as that. You can change this stuff later. It's not that important. What is important is to come down here and go to advanced. Now here, you want to set your email, you want to set your admin username, and you want to set your admin password. You don't want to have Bluehost just automatically generate everything for you. You want to have control over that so it's something that you can actually remember. Now the email address that you put in here is going to be your recovery email, just in case like you don't log into your website for a month and you just completely forget what your password is or your username is. You can recover everything via this email address. So please put in something that you actually check. Okay, so I'm just gonna put in, there we go. All right, all set. All right, so I'll just make up a admin username. Okay, and then let's put in a WordPress admin password. There we go. Okay, next, click on next. All right, so now here you can choose the domain name and you can choose the directory. I would leave the directory blank. We want to install WordPress on the root domain name. We don't want to install it in a directory like blog, for example. We want it to be on the whole website. Now, right down here, we have helpful plugins. WP Forms is a fantastic contact form plugin, so I definitely recommend this one. We don't need OptinMonster though, and we don't need Monster Insights though. So anyways, click on next. All right, so WordPress has been successfully installed. So let's go ahead and click on log into WordPress. Welcome to WordPress and welcome to the dashboard for your website. You've just successfully installed WordPress. You've just successfully set up a WordPress website. It really is that easy. Now, I'm actually going to go ahead and log out over here because I want to show you how to log into your website. So if we come back over here, you want to navigate to where it says wp-admin. So right here, you have your domainname.com/wp-admin. When you go to that address, you're going to be looking at this. And this is how you log into your website, okay? So all you have to do is put in the username that you just created, as well as your password each and every time that you want to log into your website. Professional backend settings for our website. So again, it's not going to be fun, but this is just basic stuff we need to take care of to get our website set up properly. So I'll try and make this as quick as possible. Anyways, the first thing I want you to do is to navigate over to permalinks. So you have to go to your settings, and under settings, go down here to where it says permalinks. Click on it. Now with permalinks, you're going to have different options. So this permalinks literally means the permanent link. And so permalinks like affect the blog post structure, and you want to go with something logical. So I recommend either going with post name or going with a custom structure. I personally would go with post name, then click on custom structure, then click here, type in / then blog, and then post name. That's personally what I do in order to structure my blog posts on all of my websites, because I find that it just gives a nice website architecture. So for example, if we come over here to top 10 domain name registrars, right here we have blog / the page title, and that's how you kind of control that with the permalink settings. But again, it's totally up to you. It's your website. If you want to do post name, that's fine. I would shy away from dates because unless you're publishing time sensitive content, you don't need dates. And definitely don't have p = 1, 2, 3. That tells search engines like Google nothing about what the piece of content that you're publishing is all about. So stick to post name or custom structure. Next, you want to navigate to where it says users. Now, under users, you go here to users, and then you go to all users. And this is where you have your different users for your website. And here is where you can add in writers as you want. So you should have one account, your main account that you're using to log into your website. And this role is the administrator, which has full access to the website. So anyways, if I open this up, let's go ahead and click on the administrator account. All right, so if we navigate down here, we have a couple different options. First off, we have biographical information, and right there is where we can fill out that, you see at the bottom of a blog post, it's like, David likes long walks on the beach and coffee, that sort of thing. That's where this is being populated from when you see that on a website. Now right here, we have the profile picture. And so this is being populated by something called Gravatar. So if we click on that, we're going to navigate to this website. You can quickly and easily just sign up for Gravatar, and then you can associate an image with an email. And so what that does is set everything up so there's an image associated with the email. And that's it. And then right down here is where you can change your passwords as you want. So anyways, let me go back to all users. Now, what you could do as well is you could also go to add new. And if you want to add in a new user, you can come here to add in a new username, a different email, not the same email as the administrator account. and then you can set a password, and then here is where you can change the different roles. Okay, and so within WordPress you can set an editor, author, contributor, subscriber. So an editor account is typically what I recommend setting up and then logging into your website as an editor, because it provides just another layer of security, because you want to keep your administrator account as private as possible. Again, totally up to you. There's nothing wrong with logging in as an administrator, but for security reasons, if you want that next level, next step, just go ahead and set up an editor account. Then over under here, author account would be, if you want to, hire paid writers to easily log into your website to publish their own blog posts, you could set up an author account, and they only have access to specific blog posts and maybe uploading images. Each role is limited in terms of their access to the website. Okay, so after that, navigate over to plugins. So we have to go to plugins right here and install plugins. So let me X out of this. We've got a bunch of things. Okay. So we have a lot of plugins installed by default, and we can go ahead and deactivate a lot of this stuff right here. So first, we have Akismet anti-spam. So if you're going to be having comments on your website, comments on your blog post, then you probably want to activate this and enable it, and just go through the process to enable Akismet. It's pretty intuitive and has an on-screen process about how to set it up, but I'm not going to be having comments on my blog, so I'll go ahead and delete this. Okay, next we have Bluehost. Bluehost has their own plugin that comes with your installation. I'm going to go ahead and click on deactivate that and click on delete. Next we have Hello Dolly. We can go ahead and delete that because that doesn't do anything other than leave quotes on our homepage. Next we have Creative Mail by Constant Contact. And so this is like a type of email marketing plugin that allows you to capture emails and then send out your blog posts automatically when something new is published. Completely up to you if you want to do that, but Jetpack does the same sort of thing. For now, I'm just going to go ahead and deactivate that, and I'm going to go ahead and delete that because I just want to have a nice clean installation. Okay, now we have Jetpack by WordPress and WP Forms Lite. I recommend keeping these two. Jetpack, what this does is it enables you to have a lot of features, because Jetpack is actually a feature on WordPress.com. But it allows you to have a lot of features from WordPress.com on your own installation. The main thing that I like from Jetpack is that it has related posts. And so what related posts are, if you come to the bottom of a blog post right here, see this is powered by Jetpack. And what this does is really helpful because it provides nice internal linking to your blog post. When people get to the bottom of the blog post, they're directed to navigate to somewhere new, etc. So I really like this, and that's why I kind of recommend having Jetpack installed. Okay. And so here we go. So leave those two there. Now there's a couple other plugins that we need to install as well. So we'll go to add new. Now I want you to install something called Yoast SEO. Okay, go ahead and click on install. And activate. Okay, fantastic. So now you have Yoast SEO installed. You should have an icon over here that says SEO. What this plugin does, it gives you a lot of on-page SEO control over your website and your blog posts and pages, okay? And so we'll get to a little bit more in detail a little bit later, but Yoast SEO is really helpful for, for example, you come up here, this is Breadcumbs. Yoast SEO enables us to add breadcrumbs to our website. If I do a quick search for a website creative pro, for example, this right here, this description is being powered by Yoast, the page title, all this little detailed stuff you have control thanks to Yoast SEO. So I really recommend installing this plugin. The next plugin I want you to install is called Smush. Let's type in Smush. Okay, so now we have Smush, and this is lazy load images. Now go ahead and click on install and activate, and what this does is it optimizes any image you upload to your website, because as you upload images to your website, they take up space, they take up bandwidth, and they take time to load. So you want them to be as optimized as possible so your website loads as quickly as possible. You don't want to have these big images that take forever to load. And so this is just one little plugin that really helps that, because it automatically optimizes anything you upload. Now last, we want to go over to themes. Now we're going to be designing with the 2021 theme. So currently it's already installed and activated, but what I want you to do is, if you have any other themes on your site, just go ahead and delete them, okay? Click this and click on delete. Go ahead and click OK. and go ahead, click on this one, and then click on delete. And that is it. And so now we have the 2021 theme installed, and we are ready to go. Okay, so we are finally ready to design our website with the 2021 theme. Everything is set up. We have a very strong foundation. So now we can get into how this theme works so we can create something really impressive and beautiful. Now, if you take a look at like websitecreativepro.com, you can kind of get an idea for how I personally design websites. I like to have like a dedicated homepage and make that homepage very beautiful and make it into sort of maybe a visual menu for your entire website. Then I'm going to show you how to create an about page, contact pages, your legal pages, your blog roll, and how to customize your individual blog post pages, how to hide powered by WordPress, how to add in a logo, favicon, etc. All the little details that you need to know to create a very beautiful, customized looking website. So let's get to it. Now we want to create a homepage for our website. So right now this is technically our homepage, but what this is your blog roll. So it's showing your latest blog posts, and that's okay, but we really want to create a dedicated homepage because that just makes our website look better, more trustworthy, etc. So anyways, to get started with creating a homepage with WordPress is simple. We have to go to settings, and then you have to click on reading. Now, once you click on reading, it's going to have your homepage displays what? So we can click over here, a static page, and then we can select a homepage, and we can select a posts page. So posts means like your blog posts, okay? Now, the one issue is that we actually have to go ahead and create these pages because we can't select anything because we don't have any pages. So anyways, navigate to pages and click on add new. All right, so this is going to be our home page. So I'm just going to type this home page. All right, so next we want to navigate down here, and right here is where we can set up the page title and description. So like whatever your website's going to be about, this is where you can kind of set it up. Okay, so I'm going to set it up as like, I'll just call it the site title. Okay, so we'll say the site title, and then page separator, and then a keyword description of what the website is about. So I would say this is like going to be iPhone photography resources and guides. Okay, we'll just pretend like I'm starting like an iPhone photography website. All right, and so now we have that page title set up. Now we can have a meta description goes here. Okay, and so for the meta description, you want to put in something that like kind of describes what the website is about. So if we type in Website Creative Pro, for example, this is the meta description for my website. So create a website, start a blog, launch an online store, blah, blah, blah. That's powered by this section right there. So go ahead and just quickly describe the sentence in like 1 or 2 sentences. And when you're ready, all you have to do is click on publish. That's literally it. Just click on publish. Okay, so now we have one page that's ready to go. And so we want to navigate back to our WordPress dashboard, and we want to add another page. And now we're going to be adding a blog post page. So a page that's dedicated for our blog roll. And so what I mean by that is you come to the home page here, you click on blog, open up blog, and this is your blog post page. It's the blog roll page, okay? And so you want to create a dedicated page for that. So I'm just going to call this blog, okay? So I can understand what the site is about. So like when I'm in my WordPress dashboard, I understand what it is. Next, you want to make sure that the URL is correct. So it should be the sitetitle.com/blog. Looks good. Okay. So anyways, let's navigate down here. And again, I suggest giving this some type of like unique, specific description. So like, for example, the iPhone photography blog page separator, and then the name of the website, okay? And then same with meta description, you know, write a two sentence description about what the this page is about specifically. And again, same, when you're ready, go ahead and click on publish. Okay, so now we need to navigate back to our WordPress dashboard. And what I want you to do is click on setting and go to reading. All right, so now we want to click on a static page. We want to set the home page as the home page. We want to set the post page as our blog page. And next, we want to click on Save Changes. And that's it. So anyways, let's take a quick look at the sites. And there we go. Okay, so now we have a nice, clean, blank website that's ready to be customized. And this is now the homepage page that we just set up. And now it's our dedicated homepage. So let's get to designing it. Let's begin customizing our website. So I'm going to walk you through the Customize tab and all the specific options that you have with this theme to help you make a decision on how you personally want to design your website. So anyways, all you have to do is get started is click on Customize. All right, so right here, we can get rid of this awful green color if we want. So to get started with that, we have to navigate to colors and dark mode. So dark mode is just a setting that people have on their phone where if they visit a site, they can turn on and off a dark mode. So if someone's viewing your website at night on their mobile device, that sort of thing. So if you want to enable that, you can go ahead. Anyways, under here is where we can kind of change the color. So if you want to make it white, we can just go ahead and do that and get rid of that awful green. I think I'm going to make my site ever so slightly gray. I think that looks just a bit nicer, okay? Okay, so I really like that. Just very, very subtle. Can't really tell too much, but just not super bright white. There we go. That's perfect. And we can also go ahead and add a background image to our website if we like. So to do that is very simple. You just click on background image, and then you can go ahead and click on select image, and then just drag and drop an image into place. So let me go ahead and do that. Okay, so again, make sure your image is a JPEG and make sure it's like 1,500 by 1,000 pixels, something like that. Not too big, not too small, because you don't want a big image that's going to load slowly, but you don't want a small image that's going to be blown out and look pixelated, okay? Anyways, click on choose image, and there you go. So now you have a lot of different presets. So by default, it should look like this, which looks pretty bad. You can have it fill to screen, you can have it fit to screen, you can have it repeat, etc. So it's totally up to you whether or not you want to add an image. Now it looks wonderful, but the issue is like the text is really hard to read. So I'm not going to be using a background image in this tutorial video. You have to change the font to white and it's still just not readable. And so personally, I think it's interesting that you can add a background image with this theme, but it's for practical purposes, it's not really that useful. So I'm just going to go ahead and remove that, and I'll just be keeping it like this light shade of gray. So let's continue. Let's add a hero image and a call to action to our website. So what am I talking about when I say hero image? So if you visit something like websitecreatorpro.com, this is called a hero image. This is your call to action. This should be the H1 title. H1 meaning like header 1, the title of the page. And so our page is completely blank. And so to get started, just click on edit page. Once you're in the edit page, you should see this and it should say home page or whatever you titled this page. But something that you've noticed is that, look, the title's not there. That's because we've set this as the home page. So this theme is automatically designed so it just hides whatever the title is here. So we can add something that we want. So anyways, hero images are incredibly easy to set up with this theme. So you just click on the plus and then you want to click on the block that says cover. Okay, so there we go. Now we can upload our own theme. So I'm just going to jump into my media library. And now we notice right here, I have this image that I already uploaded. Okay, so let me go ahead and click on select. Now, where I'm getting a lot of my images from sometimes is a website called Unsplash. I mean, it's a good starter website to find photography. So I'm going to be using this image as the background for my hero image, okay? And so now we have it set up right there. And so if we click on update, it's going to update the image. Let's go ahead and reload that. And okay, that looks okay, but there's a lot of different options that we can do to make this a little bit more fun and interesting. So if you click on the image itself, not the text, you have to click on the image. You're going to get this little bar right up top there that gives you different images, different options for layout. So we want to click on this. And the ones that I like the most are full wide width like this. So we click on update. What it does to the image is it kind of makes it this big rectangular square. And I think that kind of looks interesting. That looks nice. And that doesn't need to be a massive hero image. Again, totally up to you. But I'm going to go with full width, okay? And so let's click on update. And let's reload it. All right, and so now we have full width set up, but it is, I want this to be like longer. I want to stretch this out and make it just a little bit longer, take up a little bit more space. And with that, it's very simple. So you scroll down a little bit and this little blue dot right there, you can just drag and drop this to give your image just a little bit more breathing room. Okay, now over here we have a couple different settings. So we have styles, default, and borders. I typically don't like borders. I don't think it looks nice, but you can play around with that if you want. Now, media settings, fixed background, you can turn that on and off. So what that does is it allows the person to scroll and the image stays put. I am not going to have that. I'm just going to leave it as is because I like the way that this looks. So we'll minimize that. Okay, so now we have the overlay right here. The overlay is like, see how the image is kind of dark? And so if you come over to like, again, like Website Creator Pro, see how this image is blue? Like that's an overlay. So you use an overlay to make your text a little bit more readable so it stands out. And so if we take a look at this, the overlay is a little bit dark. So you can turn that down just a bit. You know, we can turn it completely off if you want, just turn it down to 0. I think I'm going to leave mine at about 10. I think that looks nice. We can also play around with like different shades of colors. So if you want to click on, say, green, have it as a shade of green if you want. So I'm going to go ahead and click on gradients, and I'm going to play around with this. So I think I'm going to keep that blue. I'm going to change this one to a different color blue just a little bit. Yeah, I think that looks nice. I think that kind of matches the gray just a little bit. Okay, so let's go ahead and click on update. Okay, let me go ahead and reload the homepage. All right, so I think that's looking quite nice. Now let's go ahead and add in a call to action. So to do that, it's very simple. So we come over here and we write in our title. So whatever you want to write. So I recommend making this the H1 title tag for the page. This should be your call to action. So quickly and tell people what the website is about quickly and succinctly. Don't get too verbose, just get right to the point. So I'm just going to lead off with, we'll just say iPhone photography made easy, something like that. Okay, so again, click here and then go to heading and then make sure this is H1. Okay, this is your title. I'm going to go ahead and center that so it looks nice. Okay, and so that looks good. Okay, and so over here you can change the font size if you want to change it, make it bigger or smaller, whatever. Obviously you can come in here and bold things as you want. So that's about it with in terms of customization with the typography a little bit. You know, you don't have, it's a free theme. You don't have like a ton of control, but it's enough to get you started. Anyways, let's go ahead and add in a little plus sign and we'll add in a paragraph. Okay, so I'm going to say advice, tutorials, and guides. There we go. Okay, and so let's go ahead and center that. And I'm just going to leave this as text. And let's go ahead and click on update. And we come back to the home page and let's reload it. All right, so that's looking really nice. Okay, so you open up the website, boom, iPhone photography made easy, advice, tutorials, and guides. Okay, and so there's a quick little introduction on how you can personally set up your own hero image and the typography over it as you see fit. Let's go ahead and add a button to our call to action. So a button would be a perfect addition to this call to action right here. And now the goal of a button should be to direct people somewhere, be it a blog post, a free guide, YouTube video, free Udemy course, whatever. Just make sure to direct people somewhere. Now to add a button is very easy, so let's just jump back into our home page. We'll click here. I'll click on enter. Now we're in a new block, so click on the plus sign. Now you just want to add in a button. And so if you don't see it, make sure just to type in button, and there you go. So you want to click on the block that says buttons. And there you go. So now we have a bunch of styles. We have fill and we have outline. I'm going to leave that as fill because that fills the button with a color. Outline is one of those transparent buttons, but the goal of a button is to be clicked on. So let's go ahead and have it be fill. So it's just, we can make it a nice bright color. Next, I'm going to navigate to color settings, text color. I want the text to be white. And then the background color, I want the background color to be a nice red. So it stands out a little bit. So let me just put that down just a little bit, play around with this. There we go. So I think that looks quite nice. Okay, so now let's go ahead and add in text. So I'll say get our free beginners course, something like that. Okay, so now to link the button somewhere, you have to have the button highlighted and then click on this icon right there. And here you can just insert a hyperlink. And so if it's going to be off your website, have it open in a new tab. If it's going to be on your website, then don't have it open in a new tab. Now let's continue on. So we have border settings over here. And so with the border settings allows us to round out the button if we want. So totally up to you, it's your site. So I'm going to make mine a little bit rounded like that. I think that looks nice. Okay, we'll come over here and now we have link settings there. And that's it. Now you're like, David, how do I center the button? Well, there's no center option there. To center anything, you have to click on the block. So now I have the block selected, okay? And then you come over here and then you can click center, okay? Understand? Because if you click on the button, these are all the settings for the button, but we want to center everything that's in the block. So we have to click on the block settings, okay? And that's it. And so go ahead and click on update. And let's just go take a quick look to see how that came out. And yeah, that looks really nice. So there you go. So that's how you add a button to your website. Let's go ahead and add a welcome message to our website. So right underneath the hero image is where we can have a welcome message. So for example, like what I'm talking about is like what I've done on Website Creator Pro. You don't have to do this, but this is just something that I personally like to do because it allows you to kind of introduce the site a little bit more detail and maybe direct people to a specific page. You just want to, again, constantly reiterate the value that your website is providing. Anyways, to get started, we just have to come down here and just type in something catchy and keyword rich that kind of describes the site. So I already went ahead and wrote create professional photos with your phone. So let's go ahead and update that and let's take a look to see how that looks. And that looks terrible. Okay, so there's a lot of work that we need to do to this. So anyways, first things first, we want to click here and we want to click on heading. Now we want this to be H2 because we already have an H1, so we just need this to be an H2 tag. Now I want to go ahead and center this, okay? And so maybe I'll have this be bolded. So, okay, I have that kind of stand out a little bit like that. Okay, and so over here is where you can kind of change the font size to like whatever you want. So let's just go ahead and take a look to see how this appears. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Okay, so if I want to make this bigger, I can come over here and come to the font size, and I can make this like normal, and then we can just play around with the font size that we want. Okay, so maybe if I want this to be like a 45 font size, over here we can change the line height if we want the words to be closer together or separated. That's called line height. So I think I'll just leave it like that. That looks really nice. Now with the block settings, we have wide and full width. So we go to full width. I really like the way that looks because now we can set that to full width. Let's reload this. Okay, so now we have like a nice full width sentence right there. And now we can add in a little paragraph, and now the paragraph is going to be a little bit more centered with padding on the left and the right. So let's go ahead and write a paragraph for our website. Okay, so I just went ahead and added in a little paragraph, and I think it looks really nice the way everything's kind of laid out, where we have the sentence nice and wide, a little bit of padding on the left and the right to kind of squish the paragraph to be very readable. Anyways, that's how you add a welcome image to your website. Creating a visual menu for our homepage. So right underneath the call to action, I want to add in like 3 boxes right here that help get people into these sites. So maybe we can have something like iPhone gear, iPhone photography tips, iPhone photography tutorials, whatever. Sort of like how I've done that with Website Creator Pro, where we got like 3 boxes right there. So if we can jump into the back end of our site, and let me just navigate down there. Now if I click on plus sign and we go to something called columns, we can kind of do that where we can have 3 columns and then I can add an image to this one. But the problem I have with this though is like, look how narrow it is on the left and right. It's all kind of squished together. Like the boxes are going to be the same length as the paragraph, and I just don't like that. Like I want the boxes to be wider than the paragraph right here. And so there's no way other to do this with the default editor other than to go ahead and install a brand new plugin, which we're going to do. So we're going to navigate to plugins and let's go to add new. And we're going to go ahead and install the Stackable plugin. So just type in Stackable. Okay, click on Install Now. And go ahead and click Activate. Great, so Stackable is now activated on our site. So go ahead and reload the page. Okay, so now we have Stackable installed. So let's go ahead, navigate down here, and let's go add a new block section. So click the plus sign, click on Browse All, and now you should see these like pinkish, purplish blocks. These are coming from Stackable, because what's cool about WordPress is that you can install various plugins that add new additional blocks to your installation. So to get to just help keep expanding Gutenberg. So it's really nice. So we can come down here and we can add in a bunch of different other specific boxes. So let's go ahead and add in a type of column box so we can have 3 images. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click on Advanced Columns and Grid. Okay, so there we go. All right, so first off, I want to make this into 3 columns, okay? And again, the same issue. I don't want this to be the same width as the paragraph, but right here, we can come here and we can go to wide width. And there you go. Okay, so now we've just successfully added this, and now we have a nice wide width, so it looks good. And so now to add an image is very simple. We just click the plus sign and just go to image. Okay, then we go to, you can either upload your own image or you can go into your media library. So I already went ahead and downloaded a few images from Unsplash, for example. So let me just go ahead and add in a few images. I'll add in this one. I'll click select there. Okay, and I'll go to this one and I'll go to image and I'll go to my media library. Okay, and I'll add in, we'll say this one right here. All right, and I'll click on the plus sign again, and I'll go to images, and I'll go to media library, and we'll select this image over here. Okay, and there we go. Okay, so now we can continue on where we can have a like little title if we want. So right here, I can say something like, iPhone gear. We'll say iPhone photography tutorials. Okay, and we'll just say iPhone, or we'll just say best video editors, something like that. That's good. Best video editors. Okay. All right. So now we can, now we have these little boxes there. Let's go ahead and click on update. And let's take a quick look to see how the site is looking. Okay, that looks really nice. So now we just can go ahead and kind of link these images to a specific page if we want. So let me back out of that. Okay, so to do that is very simple. So right here, we can just add a link. Okay, you can just click this and then add a link to wherever you want. So for example, if you had a blog post or a dedicated page on your site that's all about iPhone gear, the 10 best pieces of equipment for your iPhone, whatever, that's where you'd kind of want to add this in. And same with this, okay? And you can just go through that and just add in the links as you want. Okay, and so we have underneath there, we can make that bold if we want, and there you go. Now, if you don't like how the caption is so small, you have other options, okay? We can kind of back out of that, and we can come down here if you want to add in a new block. So I can do something like iPhone gear, and I can come here and I can kind of center the text, and maybe if I want to make this like maybe H2, or I can make this like an H3 because this is the H2 tag, and then center it. You have that option too. So it's really up to you about what you think looks best and what do you like. But see, like, there you go. So if you want to have a little bit more control to change the look and the feel of the item right there, you can just quickly set that up easily. I personally like the way this looks, like small and subtle. Like, I don't want it to be big, but again, it's each their own. I'm just trying to give you as much design options as possible, okay? And so anyways, let's just go ahead and, for example, let me just go ahead and link this page to Facebook. We'll just say HTTPS equals, there we go, facebook.com. Okay, let me highlight that, and we'll take that, copy, okay, and I'll add a link. There we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and click on update. And so let me just reload the page. There we go. So now it's linking to Facebook. And so you could do that with this, and you could also do that with this item right there, right down there. So if I want to do that, boom, paste that in. We'll say open a new tab. We'll click save. There we go. Update that. Just want to show you like what it's going to look like. Okay, so there we go. And so now we have iPhone gear. Now within the theme, we can later change to see how these interact, but see how this has a nice subtle animation when we mouse over it, where it gives a little bit of an indication that we can click on it. But you can just, that's how you do that. Okay, so up to you how you want to design it. But anyways, that's how you add like really helpful images to make this sort of like a visual menu to help people navigate your site more easily. Let's continue adding a visual menu for our website. So right here we have our resource guides. I want to add our latest blog post, but I want to have something that kind of breaks up the two sections, sort of like how I've done here with Website Creator Pro, where we have the resource guides. Then we have like a nice like section right here that has dedicated tutorials. So how do we do that? Because I want to link to something, anything, like maybe you want to link to a resource guide, your online courses, a dedicated resource page on your website, whatever. So let's go ahead and do that. So first things first, we need to get back into the home page and then navigate down here. So this is one block right here. So we need to click on a new block, add a block there. Now what I want you to do is click on browse, and I want you to find something that says header. Okay, this is powered by Stackable. So we want this header. There we go. All right, so I added it in the wrong spot. Let me move it there. Okay, so just side note with WordPress, you can just move things up and down as you want with this little arrow. So we want to add it underneath this block right there. Okay, so now what I want you to do is click on the block, Now you have a lot of different options, so you can go to like full width. You want to make a full width block, and there we go. We have a nice little section. But I'm going to go ahead and click on free, and I'm just going to use this free one that's right here that has this cool triangle feature. It's going to automatically install, and that looks good, but it needs a little bit of help. So let's click it. Okay, so first things first, we want to change the background image. Now for this block, everything that controls this block right here is over here. So we want to change the background image. So just look for block background. It's literally that simple. And I'm going to navigate to the little X and click off the X. Next, I'm going to click the image again, and I'm going to upload an image that I downloaded from Unsplash. So again, this is the image, 1,600 by 1,000 pixels or so. You know, not too big, not too small. All right, so I can't see anything, so we're going to turn down the opacity, and there we go. So that's 0. Maybe I'll keep it at 1. Yeah, that looks nice. Okay, so now we need to have a title for the block. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So I'll just type in learn iPhone photography. Okay, and maybe we can have a nice little description underneath there. We can say something like, I don't know, get our best selling courses on Udemy and Skillshare. Okay, we say something like that. Okay, so there we go. We have a nice call to action. So so this looks nice, and now we want to change the button. So let's minimize that. So again, we have button 1 there. So if you want to change the color, it's done right there. So again, all I did is go to button 1, and this is where you can change the color, so you can have it, you know, different styles, whatever you want to have it. I actually like the purple. I think the purple actually looks really nice compared. It can contrast really well with this green and black colors. I'm personally going to leave it, but you know, if you want to change the color, that's where you do right over here. So now we need to change the text, and you can have a link to it. To change the text is really easy. You just literally click the text, and you can just backspace and delete everything. So I can just say something like learn more. Just leave it like that. There we go. And so maybe for this page personally, I would link it to say mywebsite.com/courses or whatever. And then have a dedicated page where I cover like why my online courses on Udemy and Skillshare are the best, and you should you should enroll. You know, direct people like that. So we'll minimize that. Okay, so now we have this triangle section right down there. And so if I come down here, bottom spacer, it's being powered by this. Okay, so here you can change it to like, you know, whatever you want. So if you want to change it to something else, I personally think the triangle thing looks fantastic because it kind of points the user to the next section. But let's click on update, and let's go ahead and reload the site. Okay, so that looks good, but the only issue is like, okay, this is white and this is gray. let's make sure it matches. And so to do that is, again, easy. So you come down here to color, and you have to go to custom color, okay? And so right there, we don't want it black. We just want to eyeball it and just kind of blend it into the site as best you can. Let's see that. Yeah, that looks great. Okay, let's go ahead and click on update. And let's go ahead and reload the page just to make sure everything looks good. Yeah, that blends in perfectly, okay? And there we go, okay? So now we have these 3 little resource boxes. We have this nice, you know, call to action to get people on maybe a dedicated page to, you know, make a purchase decision for a paid product, etc. And so now let's go ahead and add in our latest and greatest blog posts. Let's go ahead and add in our latest blog post right underneath this image. So I already went ahead and added in 3 blog posts. So you just go to posts, you go to add new, and that's where you can add in blog posts. We'll get to this later in the tutorial, but for now, let's just continue editing our site. So anyways, we need to navigate back to our homepage, navigate under here, and then click the plus sign. Now you want to type in something that says P-O-S-T, post. Now you have latest post and you have posts. Latest post, this is the default block from WordPress. It doesn't look that nice, it's not that visually appealing, which is why we installed Stackable, completely free. It comes with this awesome plugin to help us install our latest content. Okay, so that looks okay, but again, we can click here and we can go to wide width, and that looks really good. Now it's going by like a 2x2 grid, so we have 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. That looks okay. I kind of want to change that. You know, it's totally up to you, but to change any settings, again, you navigate over on the right hand side. Okay, so let's just minimize everything. So now we have layout, style, and advanced. Okay, so we're gonna go to layout basic, and so here we have basic, and then we can change the image to be on the right hand side if we want. So we want to navigate to style. This is where we have full control over how this looks. Now I'm going to make this into a 3-column design. There we go. All right, and so let's continue on. And so we can change the alignment of the text. We want it centered or not. So I'm going to leave it left, though. I don't really like the way that looks if it's centered. Now we go to post settings and number of items. It'll show 6 items. I actually only want to show 3 items because we have a 3x3 grid. So I would make it so like you want to show 6, then I would make this like a 6-column thing. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, that type deal. But I'm only going to show the latest 3 blog posts. So we'll just leave it like that. Now continue down here. Feature image. This is the feature image for the blog post. You want to leave it because it's visual, it stands out, and it gets people to click. Now the category. This is the category up top there. Totally up to you whether or not you want to have the category shown. It's helpful because people can navigate to the category page a little bit more easily if it's on the home page. But again, it's up to you. I'm actually going to turn the category off. Okay, now we have the title. This is your title. Obviously, you want to leave your title on. The excerpt. This is the excerpt right here. Not helpful at all. It just makes a bunch of like words. Not really helpful. Doesn't get people to click. I just turn that off. All right, meta is this. The author, the date, comments, all that. I don't want to show that. I just want to leave it like that. Okay, and then there we go. So now we have the image, the title, and then continue reading. I really like that. So right down there, we have the read more link, and we can customize the read more link. So if we said, we can change this to whatever we want, continue reading, or we can just change it to continue, whatever, okay? So totally up to you if you want to change it to something else, okay? And that's it, okay? So now we can just leave it like that, and if you want to change again, we'll just minimize that. So now we can change different things right down here. We can have a top separator, a bottom separator to this block if we want. So we can change different colors, etc. But personally, I think this looks quite nice the way it is. So let's go ahead and click on update. And let's go ahead and reload the homepage. And that looks good. Okay, so now we got the resource guides, boom, we got this nice separator, and then we have our latest blog post right there. Now, maybe I would want to add in like maybe a title for this section so people kind of inherently understand what's going on there. And so we can just we can just come back down there and I'll click here and I'll click on paragraph, okay? And I'll just say latest, or I'll just type that normally. Latest posts, whatever. Okay, now click on that. I'll change that to a heading. There we go. And now if I want to move that up, boom, okay? And so there we go. So latest post, boom, make it like that. We'll click on update and let's reload the page. Okay, and so that looks really nice. So, if you want to like move it over, you can just go full width and that moves the text all the way over to the left-hand side. So let's load it again. Okay, so now that's too far over. It's way too far on the left. And so I don't really like the way that looks. So I'm going to go ahead and maybe we can have centered. So we'll keep it like that. And so again, you have to play around with it because like, yeah, I personally want it right there, but it doesn't seem to work that way. So you're kind of stuck with it the way it is. So we'll just reload this. Okay, so latest post, that looks nice. Okay, not ideal. I kind of want the text there. I can't do it. It's either over here or here or here. So centered looks best, so we'll just leave it like that. Okay, and so there you go. So that's how you add your latest blog post to your homepage. Okay, so let's finish off the homepage. So this bottom section is really nice because you can add in, say, an email opt-in form, or you can add in some quick little bio paragraph. Totally up to you. Or you can just leave it like this, like just maybe add in like instead of 3 blog posts, have it be 6 blog posts. Totally up to you, but I'm gonna add in just a quick little like bio section. Again, like reiterating what the site's about, welcoming people to the site, kind of maybe have a picture of myself, etc. Saying, hey, I'm the founder and blah, 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 whatever. That's what I'm gonna do here. Again, it's your site, totally up to you how you want to design it, but that's what I'm personally gonna do. So anyways, to get started with that, we're gonna click on the plus sign, and then I wanna go again to advanced columns and grids. The reason why I like advanced columns and grids is because I can do that. Okay, I can make the boxes wide and take up all the space. So over here, I'm gonna go here and add in an image, and I'm just gonna add in an image that I've already uploaded of myself, which is right here. I'm gonna click on select. There we go. And then over here, I'm gonna add in a paragraph, and I'm gonna lead off with maybe a title like hey, I'm David, then exclamation mark. And we can change that and maybe make that a heading. I'll make that an H3 because this is an H2. All right, and so that looks good. Maybe I'll click that and bold it. Let's add an emoji. Okay, whoop, waving emoji. There we go. All right, so now we'll click on copy. There we are. And let's navigate back there. Okay. And let's click on paste. And there we go. So now we have an emoji added. All right, so now I just have some dummy text I'm just going to add in. So we'll copy that. And let's go here and go to paste. Okay, so that looks good. All right, so now with the image, we have a couple different options. If you want to make the image a little bit smaller, you can do that right there. If you want to add some style to it, rounded borders, have it have a frame, whatever, you can go ahead and do that. So I'm going to click on update and let's reload the site and see how that looks. And that looks wonderful. And so right underneath here, you know, for example, if like we continue designing the site. So for example, like if you're a part of like ConvertKit, for example, you can add in like an email opt-in form right here to get people to subscribe. You can change the copy to be like, you know, hey, welcome to the site. I created the site to help you do XYZ 1, 2, 3 topic. Subscribe to get my free XYZ thing, you know, and get people to sign up to your newsletter there. And so anyways, I'm going to show you how to add in an email opt-in form using ConvertKit next. Okay, so let's go ahead and add in an email opt-in form right underneath this little paragraph right there. So again, we can structure the copy to say like something like, hey, welcome to the site. Make sure to subscribe to get my free guide, etc. Now, this depends on the service provider that you personally use, but I use and recommend ConvertKit. So let's go ahead and get started. So this is my demo account, and I'm going to go ahead and click on Create New, and I want to create a form, and then I want to have it be inline. There we go. And now I want a template that is super duper simple because I just want something to sit underneath right here. Okay, I don't want a big form. I already have a picture here. I just want a form. I just want people to subscribe. And so I like Claire, okay, because that one looks the simplest. Now, again, up to you if you want to have a name, an email address. I mean, this is not a ConvertKit tutorial, so I'm just going to leave it simple like this. You know, give me your email address. That's fine. Now, whatever service provider you decide to go with, you need to find where it says embed. And then embed, you can get HTML, JavaScript, WordPress. Now, you're like, oh, WordPress. Well, ConvertKit has their own dedicated WordPress plugin. So we're actually just going to use the HTML option. Click on copy, go over here, make sure to copy it again. Okay, so now let's jump in here. And so enter space. Okay, now we want to add in a new block. And you want to add in HTML. Okay, we're adding in custom HTML. And then right click and paste. And you're like, oh, that looks terrible. That's fine. Don't worry. It's totally fine. Just click on update. Don't worry. All right, so let's reload the page. And there you go. Okay, and so now we have a nice looking ConvertKit form that appears and it's fit into the space correctly. And I think that looks really nice bottom section of the website. And so again, like just customize the copy right here to get people to subscribe. How to space out your on-page elements. So I know I get asked this quite a bit. So like, how do you separate this? So we have this section right there. We have this block down there. How do I just give it more space? Because everything's kind of pushed together a little bit. And with WordPress, it's very easy. So you just need to navigate back into your homepage, okay? And now we want to find where, just mouse over in the middle and you'll see a plus sign. And then we can add in a block right there. Now, what we want to add in is called a spacer. Okay, that's literally what it's called. So Stackable comes with their own spacer. WordPress comes with their own spacer. Same thing. It does exactly the same thing. So we'll just use the WordPress version. Okay, there we go. And so now I can kind of minimize this as much as possible, or I can just separate it ever so slightly. Okay, if I want a little bit more space, we'll say like, let's give it to 16 pixels. Okay, let me go ahead and update that, and let's reload the site. And there we go. So we can push elements down. And so again, now we have a spacer there. And if you want to move it around, you can just click this arrow up and down and add in additional spacers if you want to give more room for any specific element. Okay. And so, let me just make this spacer a little bit more. I think I'll give it a little bit more space. We'll just do that. There we go. Okay. I think that's the right amount. Let me reload that. And that looks good. Okay. So now we have a little bit of breathing room between the blog post section and our little bio. So let's go ahead and add a logo to our website. So our logo is going to be replacing this text right here. Now I just want to emphasize to everyone that logos are simple. Like the logo for Website Creator Pro is just text. Think about Facebook. The logo for Facebook is very simple, okay? Logos do not need to be overly complicated. Anyways, we're going to be using a service called Canva. Canva is a completely free website where we can edit and make images quickly and easily. So all you have to do is create a free account and then log in. All right, so I'm going to be using the YouTube thumbnail, okay? And then we're going to be creating a blank thumbnail. And you can use whatever template you want. I just like the YouTube thumbnail because it's nice blank canvas right here. Okay, so let's go ahead and add in some text and then boom, add in a heading. Now you want to put in the site title right here. So I would say iPhoto Authority. Okay, so we'll just pretend that's what my website is called. Now I want to change this font. I don't really like Open Sans Extra. I'm going to use Poppins Medium, primarily because this is Poppins right here. So we want the kind of the logo to match. So anyways, I'm going to take the authority and let's go ahead and bold that. And I think that looks really nice. Now one thing we could add maybe is like a little image right there. So go to Elements, click on it, and then we'll say something like phone. I don't know, so it comes up with a phone. And this one, okay, I think this one looks good. Okay, we'll take that and let's make that smaller so it fits. And okay, so I think it's a little too tall. We'll just shrink it just a bit. Yeah, that looks great. Anyways, go to download and go to PNG and then make sure to download as a PNG because that is the highest quality image possible. All right, we'll just drag and drop that into my desktop. There we go. Okay, so now we want to remove the background from this image because our background is gray. We just want this to be transparent so we can change the background color whenever we want. And so that's really easy to do. You can use something like remove BG. Okay, so remove .bg allows you to remove the background image of anything you upload. Anyways, we'll go upload image, boom, we'll upload this. And let's see how that came out. Yeah, that looks great. So we'll click on download. Okay, and I'll put that there. All right, so now let's just crop this a little bit, make it a little bit smaller. Okay, let me go to edit. We'll go to resize, or sorry, actually edit, and I'm gonna crop this. Again, you can use whatever picture editor you want. It doesn't matter, you can use GIMP. There's plenty of free options. Just pick something that you like in order to crop the image in a little bit. We'll click on OK, and then I just wanna go to resize. And I suggest making your logo like 260 pixels, something small, 259. There you go, that looks good. Okay, we'll click on save. Okay, so now we have our logo, and so let's go ahead and upload it. Click on customize. And then you go to site's identity, and then you click on select logo, and then you just drag and drop it into place. And that is it. Okay, now click on select and we're gonna skip cropping. Now it's going to, okay, there we go. And then just make sure to uncheck the display site and tagline. And there you go. That's how you add a logo to your website. Let's add a favicon to our website. So a favicon is the little icon that you see up top there. That's important because when people visit your website and it gets saved to their phone, it'll be like recently visited. And also it's just attention to detail. This website's called iPhoto Authority, and then so it's like, why is it a W there? It doesn't make any sense. It's attention to detail, you know? So you want to pay attention to things like that. Anyways, we're just going to use this little phone icon. So again, just navigate back to Canva, find the image that you just selected, and just have it be all by itself. Or you just make it really big, whatever, okay? Make it really big like that, and then just download it and follow the same exact process that you did for the logo, okay? And so there we go. We'll drag and drop that there. Okay, and so now we want to go to remove background and go to upload. And let's upload that again. And that looks good. So go ahead and download. Okay, so download that into place. There we are. All right, so now I do suggest editing the image just a bit. So you want to crop in on the top a bit and crop in on the bottom just a little bit, and then you want this to be kind of a square shape a little bit. You can just eyeball it like that just a bit. Okay, we'll click edit and then we'll resize it. Just resize it just a little bit. You don't have to do this, but I kind of want to make this just a bit smaller. Okay, we'll click on save. All right, and now we can go ahead and upload that to our website. So we'll go here to select icon and then drag and drop that into place. And click on select, and there we go. So now you can just adjust it as you want. There we are. We'll just leave it like that. We'll say crop image for sure, because we want to get rid of the white on the left and the right. And there we go. Okay, so now we have a nice little customized favicon for our website. It's time to edit and adjust the menu for the website. So the menu is this right here, this section right there where people have links that they can click on to navigate to specific pages. Currently, our website doesn't have any items in the menu, so let's go ahead and add some menu items. So to do that, again, is very easy. You have to go to Appearance, and you go to the menus. All right, so now we have to actually create our first menu. So I'm just going to say that this is the, I'll say this is the primary menu, okay? And then display location as the primary menu. So this theme has two menus. We have a primary and a secondary. The primary is the one at the top of the website. So let's go ahead and click on Create Menu. Okay, and so now we can just add items to our menu. So let's go to View All. And for example, I'm going to lead off with by adding the blog page. There we go. So let's go ahead and click on Save Menu. And let's reload the site and see how that looks. And there we go. Okay, so now we have our logo over there and we have the menu item over there. Now, if you're like, well, David, I like the logo. Well, you can't. Okay, I'm just telling you, this is where the site places the logo. Okay, so you're going to have the logo on the left. And you're going to have your menu items on the right. And that's it, okay? So, but I personally think that looks good. That's the layout I use personally for Website Creator Pro. And now for menu items, I do suggest keeping it to a minimum, like 4 to 6 items max. Less is better. You don't want to overwhelm people with options because then people don't click on anything, if that makes any sense. And so now we're going to add an about and contact page. Adding an about page to your website. So all websites need an about page. Now the about page should be about the website. It's not about you. For example, like the about page for Website Creator Pro is about Website Creator Pro, and it's about how to use the website, and then a quick little bio about me, but it's more focused on me as a professional web designer and a user experience consultant. It's not about David likes long walks on the beach and drinks coffee. It's not like, you know, a personal story. So now, it's totally up to you whether or not you want to have like a little bio, but I definitely suggest throwing in something, just a quick little, just a short little paragraph that explains who you are and why you have the authority to write the website. Anyways, to create an about page is simple. We just navigate to our dashboard, and then you have to go to Pages. And then you go to Add New. And right here, we can type in About. Or we can type in something like about iPhoto authority, something like that. And then you can write your description of your about page as you see fit. Okay, so anyways, let's click on publish. Okay, so anyways, let me come down here. All right, so let's open this up. Now down here, again, because of Yoast SEO, I definitely recommend taking the time to properly set up a correct like page description and a meta description. Also the slug means like your URL. Just keep it as about, okay? It doesn't need to be about blah, blah, blah. Just keep it simple, call it about. All right, anyways, let me click on update. And there we go, okay? So now we have a basic page that's kind of ready to go. So let me go back to my WordPress dashboard. And let me go to Appearance and then Menus. And let me go ahead and add in About, click Add. Now the whole thing says About iPhoto Authority. We want to change that. We just want it to say About, okay? Keep it simple. You want your titles to be very short and sweet and to the point. Okay, let's click on Save Menu. And there we go. Okay, so now we have it as blog and about. So if you want to change the order of this, it's very easy too. You can just drag and drop the menu item to change it like that with ease. Now, if you move it over to the right, now this is going to be a sub menu item of this. So what that'll do is it'll make it into a drop down, which we're not going to do. I'll just keep it like that. So we have blog and about. So now it's time to add a contact page to our website. Let's add a contact page to our website. So to get started, you have to navigate to Pages. And then we want to go ahead and add a new page. So click on Add New. And now we're going to go ahead and title the contact page as like either contact us or need to get in touch. something along the lines of that. Okay, so let's come down here and make sure that the slug is just something simple like contact, etc. So anyways, let me go ahead and publish the actual page first. There we go. And so let's just make sure the slug is something simple, just contact, doesn't need to be contact us. And so we can like change the SEO title, make it something like need to contact us, learn more, whatever, something like that. And then have a meta description. This is the contact page for this website, blah, 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 whatever. That's all you have to do. So anyways, let me go ahead and click on update. Okay. So now if we actually kind of view the actual page, so let me go to permalink, let's open up this. So the thing I want to add to this is kind of like a form that people could fill out quickly and easily. And so I definitely recommend giving some sort of context, like thanks for your interest in the website. We reply to emails in 24 to 48 hours. Make sure to check out the FAQ. If you have any other questions, whatever, check us out on Facebook. You also contact us there. All right. So anyways, like thank you for your interest in the website. I'll just leave it like that. Anyways, now we want to add a form, and to do that is easy. So we need a plugin, which should be already installed because we set everything up with Bluehost initially. But anyways, even if you didn't install the plugin, the one that you want to install is called WP Forms. So again, you have to navigate to plugins and make sure that you have WP Forms installed. So if we go to add new, this is what WP Forms looks like. Let me just type that in. WP Forms, boom. Okay, so WP Forms is this looking thing, okay? This is one of my favorite plugins for contact forms. Anyways, so to get started with WP Forms, now you have once you install and activate it, you should have a menu item over here. So let's navigate to this. All right, and now we want to create a form. All right, so now we have a couple different options here, and the one we want is a simple contact form. So click it. Okay, wonderful. So now we can click this item right there, and I personally just want to make this simple. I just want people to enter their name, email, then comment and message. Literally, that's it. That's all I want. Now make sure to click on settings. And when you click on settings, go to confirmation. Now confirmation is where you can set up like what people receive when they fill out their form. For example, if someone fills out the form, they'll be receiving, hey, thanks for contacting us. We'll be in touch with you shortly. If you want to change that to something else, you can right there. Now down here, you can change the settings of the form the way it looks. And so right here under notifications, this is where you can change the send to email address. So when people fill out the form, where does it go? It's going to be sent to the admin email. So the admin email is the email that you use when you set up WordPress. If you don't want it to go to that email, this is where you can change it to something else. So anyways, I'm going to click on save. All right, now I'm going to click on embed. All right, so I'm just going to have it be embed manually or use a shortcode. I want to use a shortcode. So here's the shortcode. I'll click it and then right click copy. Okay, there we go. So now navigate back to your contact page. Okay. And so let's go to edit page. Okay, and now we come down here and now we want to add in a block and we want to type in shortcode. So all you have to do is type in shortcode, should pop up like that. There we go, right click, paste it in, and there you go. And so click on update. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look. Okay, great. So now we've successfully added a contact form to our website. Now let's go ahead and edit the footer of our website and add in all those disclaimers, legalese pages, etc. Now, side note, I did go ahead and add contact to the main menu bar. Now, if we come down here at the very bottom, this is our footer section, and this is being powered by widgets. Now, in the footer, you should definitely have like maybe a secondary menu, any type of disclaimer, that sort of thing. That's kind of like what goes down here. Now, for your legal pages, I have a guide that I wrote about how to write your legal pages, but again, you should definitely consult with an accountant and a lawyer as your website grows. If you're just starting out, not that important having a privacy policy and terms and conditions because you don't have any traffic, but like once you start getting like 50,000 visitors a month, etc., then it's time to kind of consider taking care of that. Anyway, so let's jump into our website and let's navigate to appearance, and we also want to go into widgets, and I also want to open up the menus item again. Okay, so our widgets. This is this section right here is what's controlling this section right there. And so I suggest that you're stuck with 3 widgets. Okay, so just pick 3 widgets that you like. Like a search box is really helpful. You can add in like recent posts if you like. If you want to change this to make this something else, like an image or different pages or a submenu, you can go ahead and do that. You can also change like recent comments, whatever you want to add. That you have a bunch of different widgets down here that you can just easily add. So I would suggest either go with 3 widgets or just eliminate the widgets all together. And so I personally like search, and I personally like recent posts. So maybe like this one right here, I would kind of get rid of and maybe make that my disclaimer. So we'll get like there, delete recent comments. There we go. Okay. And so maybe just find where it says text. There we go. Drag and drop that in there. Okay. So for example, I want this to say like something like the Amazon Associates disclaimer would be fine right there. So affiliate disclaimer. There we go. Okay. And then we can just come in here and I can right click and paste. So I can say like iPhone authority is a participant authority. There we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and click on save. Then maybe go back here and reload that. All right, so that's fine. Okay, that looks great. Now for our legal pages, like our privacy policy, terms of use, all that stuff, I definitely suggest that you use the menu option. So with this theme, you can have 2 menus. So you're probably gonna have to go click on create a new menu. And so with the menu name, you can call it like footer menu, whatever. Okay, whatever you want. Now make sure you have it selected as secondary menu. Okay, so let's go on ahead and create new menu. Okay, so there we go. So now we can start adding in pages as we want. So now we actually need to create those legal pages, okay? So we have a privacy policy that comes with a draft, kind of a default privacy policy that WordPress gives you with your installation. Let's go ahead and publish this. Okay, so we can navigate back out of that. And then maybe consider adding in a terms of use. So terms and conditions means like what do people abide by when visiting your website, so to speak, okay? So that's the point of a terms of use. Privacy policy is about how your site collects data and information. The terms and conditions, again, what do people agree to, what rules do people agree to follow when they visit your website? All right, so anyways, now we have that. And so let me go here and add new. And I'm gonna go ahead and add in a terms and conditions page. Terms and conditions. There we go. I really can't spell. All right, so go ahead and publish that. Again, this is not exciting stuff, guys, but this is just like basic stuff you got to set up. And so obviously you're going to have to fill out your terms and condition pages on your own. But anyways, let's navigate to appearance. Let's go to menus. All right, so now we have the secondary menu, and I'm going to say terms. We'll say we'll add to menu. All right, so I don't see the privacy there, so we'll go to view all. And there we go. There's the privacy policy. There we go. Okay, so there we go. We got terms and condition and privacy. So let me just open up that. I'll just change that to term. Actually, I like that. Terms and conditions is fine. And privacy policy. Actually, that's fine. I'll leave it there. Maybe I want privacy policy to come first. Anyways, click save menu. All right, let's reload the site and see how that looks. Okay, so let me just go into manage locations. Okay, so let me click on footer menu. Make sure when you click on manage locations, you can have 10 menus, but make sure you have the menu that you want selected as a secondary menu. So I have my footer menu right there. Click on save changes. All right, let me just reload the page again. There it is. Okay, great. All right, so there you go. So now we have our privacy policy, terms and conditions, okay? And so what I personally do on Website Creator Pro is I have my main menu of like blog, a tutorial guide, courses, etc. Then the footer right here is where I have like my about, contact, resources, hire me, legalese stuff. that sort of thing. Totally up to you what you want to do, but this is enough to help get you started. And that's kind of like how I would suggest editing the footer. Maybe you have like a search box, recent posts, or whatever, affiliate disclaimer, and then your legalese pages right here, like your privacy policy, terms and conditions, etc. The blog post section of your website. So now if you click on blog, we created a dedicated blog page early in the tutorial so we could create a very beautiful homepage. And this is what the blog post page looks like. I think it looks really nice with this theme. You don't have too much ability to customize it, but you don't really need that much. I really like this, just simple and easy to navigate and easy to just read. Now, a couple little settings right here. If we navigate over to reading, right here, blog post pages show 10 posts at most. And so that dictates how many posts are going to be here. So if you want 10, you can have 10. If you want like 5, then just change this to 5, okay? So if I come down here and change that to 5, that will limit only 5 blog posts on this page, and then it will start some pagination right there, where I have like 1, 2, 3, 4 as you publish more content over time. Okay. All right. So, anyways, let's just jump into a blog post right here. So, click on this one. Okay. So this is what your blog post looks like. I think it looks really nice and easy to read, where we have the image at the top and we have the title right there. Looks really cool. Anyways, so if we click on edit post, here's what I suggest doing just a little bit, just some tips that you need to know. Okay, so first things first, you want to always make sure that your URL right here, your URL slug, is something short and sweet and to the point, okay? So like right now, the URL structure for this page is pro settings for blah, 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 blah. You don't need to do that, okay? So like the title is great, but like what the URL slug should be just short and sweet and a little bit more descriptive. Again, not a big thing. It's not the end of the world if you have something long, but I would just say like, what's the point of this page? Okay, low light photography, then iPhone. Keep it something simple like that. We'll click on update. Now over here is where you have your categories. You absolutely should be careful with what categories you choose to publish under. So what I mean is like, let me just reload this page actually. So what I suggest doing is like pick 4 categories, only 4 to just start off your blog with. And make sure that they are keyword rich and descriptive of what the website is about. So this website would be like about iPhone photography. So like what's a relevant category, for example? And a relevant category like camera gear. That's a great category. Like camera gear, camera tutorials, or iPhone tutorials, whatever. You just want to go through the process and pick relevant categories, just 4. And then when you publish content, make sure to publish content under 1 category at a time. Under here, you have tags. I personally don't use tags, so I don't recommend you use tags either. Now right here we have the feature image. So the feature image is the image that you can have associated with the blog. So again, like if we navigate over to the blog, this is the feature image, and that's where you just kind of do it right there. Okay, so now you're back into your content, and again, it's super simple with WordPress. So just make sure to break up the content as appropriate. So you want to use things like, for example, I want to make this into a title. So make that into an H2 title, for example. Just whatever. You want to break things up so it's a little bit more readable. So change that back into a paragraph. There we go. And again, like always, you have a bunch of different fun options over here. We can change things. We have default size. If you want to make that H2 tag really big for some reason, I'll make it huge, whatever, gigantic. You can do that, okay? You can just change things as you want. You want to change the line height, you can do that. And that's it, okay? And so just go through your blog posts and just break things up as appropriate, okay? And so let me just update that. We'll navigate. There we go. Okay, we'll navigate back to posts. We'll go back to our, there we go, URL. And there we go. Okay, so now you can break things up so it's a little bit more scannable. And again, don't forget that you have access to Stackable and other blocks and other WordPress plugins. So we can come down here. For example, this is one of my favorite blocks to use, feature image right there. And so we can have an image over there. So let me just select something from my media library. I'll just take we'll take this image, click on select, okay? And so leave it like that. And I can click on this block again. We'll click on this block over here, come over here to style, and can change things around. Like I'll make this basic like that so it kind of stands out a little bit. Then the style, and then container, then like border radius and shadow outline like that. You know, make it, there you go. How quick and easy was that? So now if I like reload the page, and there we go. So we have like a really nice block that really stands out and grabs your attention. Nice little shadow, you know, whatever. Like this is what I'm trying to emphasize, that, you know, be creative a little bit with your blog post. You have access to all these different blocks because of Gutenberg. You can create a really effective looking blog post that's, you know, get people to click and navigate people to specific directions. And that's it. Okay. That's kind of like what you need to know for your blog post. And also just one little thing, post categories. Your categories are controlled by this section over here. Okay, so just navigate to categories, and this is where you can add categories. And I also suggest jumping into the category page itself like this. Okay, and so make sure that you have a nice description for the keyword phrase, and make sure that you like, this is like camera gear archives. Like, no, that looks terrible. Like, get rid of that. Like, call it like camera gear essentials. Okay, like, whatever, you know, give it just a relevant title and that sort of thing, because people can click on that right here. So they can click on that right here and navigate to the specific page related to this category. And so like now you can have it set up and you can have like a little title right there, and that title is being kind of controlled whatever you write in this description. And that's pretty much it. That's all you kind of really need to know for your blog post section. Let's go ahead and add breadcrumbs to our website. So breadcrumbs is this section right up top here. And now I love adding breadcrumbs to a blog because it's just so helpful for a variety of reasons. First off, it's helpful for people who actually visit your website because then they can know where they are and navigate easily. It's great for search engines because it makes it easier to crawl and index your website, and Google can understand the structure of your blog a lot more easily. And just a little thing like, let me type in website creative pro, we'll just say domain names. And so right underneath here, for example, you see like website creative pro, blog, domain names. For example, that's what also breadcrumbs allows it to happen, because it allows the Google to index your site and give you a nice clean URL structure. So, you know, someone who's visiting and seeing your site within the SERPs are more likely to click on it because it just looks better. Anyways, to get started with breadcrumbs is very easy. So we're going to need a plugin. And the plugin we're going to need is PRYCWP. Again, PRYCWP. It's a totally random plugin, but we want to add custom content to post and page, top and bottom. This one, totally random, 4,000 installations, not super popular, but it makes installing breadcrumbs very easy for beginners because it allows you to just add content to the very top of any blog post and to the very bottom of any blog post. All right, so we're good to go. Now we need to navigate over to our SEO tab. And underneath here, we want to go into, I believe it's search appearance for Yoast. There we go. Okay, now we want to click on the little tab that says breadcrumbs, and we want to enable breadcrumbs. All right, we want to show the blog page. Yep. We want to bold the last page. Yep. Taxonomy to show in the breadcrumbs. We want to show our categories, and that's it. Okay, now we click on Save Change. All right, so now if we view our website and we go to, say, a blog post page, open this up and we'll go to Pro Settings for this one, you're gonna notice that there's no breadcrumbs. And the reason is because we have breadcrumbs enabled, but now we actually have to add it in. So anyways, what I want you to do next is go to Settings, and then I want you to go to PRYCWP. Now we can add custom content right up top there, and now we just need to get a short code for Yoast breadcrumbs. So I'll just type in Yoast breadcrumbs. Literally Yoast breadcrumbs. How to implement breadcrumbs. This should be the #1 search result. All right, so now we gotta scan the page. We want to find where he gives us our short code. There we go, right here. WP SEO breadcrumbs. We'll take that, then right click, copy, then put that there. Boom. Okay, now I'll come down here, click on Save Changes. Okay, so let's reload the page. And there we go. As simple as that, okay? So now we have breadcrumbs enabled. So now you can do cool things like if you want to center this, for example, we can just type in a center tag, then make sure to close the tag. There we go. So come down there, click on Save Changes, reload this. Okay, so now we've centered the breadcrumbs. And also you can just keep on going with this. So for example, like you want to add in like a disclosure. So I could do something like a break tag, for example. Then we could say like this post may contain affiliate links. Check our disclosure for more. Okay. And so if I click on that, for example, we'll click on Save Changes. We can put that right there. And, you know, maybe I want to have like this to be a little bit smaller. So I have a little thing like that. And then let's say something like a small tag. And then we'll close the small tag. All right. And so there we go. Click on Save, reload it. And so what the small tag does is it just makes the should make the content smaller. Hold on, let me reload the page. There we go. So see, it makes the content a little bit smaller. I think that looks really good. You can also just again center that. Now, if you're like, well, how do I link to this disclosure page? Honestly, I recommend just opening up like a page. Just go to Add New. Let's go to a blank page, and then just write disclosure, and then hyperlink to your own page. So, for example, like disclosure. Okay. Then I can highlight this and take this, and then HTTPS equals website, website.com, whatever, like just link to your own disclosure page, and then click over here. Now we want to click on this box and click on edit as HTML, and there we go. Okay, so we don't need the P tag, so it's a paragraph tag. We don't need that, but we do need this. Click on this, copy, then go over here, then just back out of this, back the disclosure out, and then click on paste, and there we go. Then all we have to do is click on Save Changes, for example, then reload the page, and there we go. So now we have the disclosure linked. Okay, and so if you're going to engage in affiliate marketing in most of your blog posts, it's a good thing to kind of put in the top right there. And again, if you want to center it, just do the same thing that you did here, where you just add in a center tag. And that's how you kind of center this. And then you're good to go. So now you have breadcrumbs, so it's easy for people to navigate the website. You can add in this little disclosure thing right there, and you are good to go. Adding in related posts to your blog post. So related posts are this item right at the bottom there. So for example, how do you add this? The process is very simple. You have to use something called Jetpack. So Jetpack is a plugin that's created by WordPress. And so to install, all you have to do again is just go to your plugins, add new, search for something that says Jetpack. Honestly, you should already have Jetpack installed on your installation because you installed WordPress. So anyways, to get started, we just click this to get set up. Okay, so once you go ahead and set everything up, Jetpack kind of takes you to this page a little bit where you have a bunch of upsells to pay for security and pay for Jetpack, etc. What you need to do is just ignore all of this. So install Jetpack, create a WordPress account, and then just install it and then navigate back to your website. Okay, there we go. Here we go. Let's go back to where we were. There we go. So Jetpack, because you installed it, it's already activated and it's ready to go. So there we go. Okay, so Jetpack is good to go. It's already set up. Don't get confused by all the upsells and taking you to a different screen, etc. So to enable that, you just need to go to settings, and then you need to go to discussion. Then you just want to come down here where it says, oh wait, not there. Wait, we want to go to traffic. Sorry about that. Traffic. There we go. Then you want to click on show related posts, show related content after post. Now, Jetpack will automatically do this organically. So if you only have like 5 blog posts, don't expect anything to pop up. Like, you need to have a lot of content before this starts appearing. And that's it. Okay, so it's literally just a click of a button. So we want to highlight related content. We want to show a thumbnail as related. And there you go. And that's literally it. And so once you start having enough content on your website, this is going to automatically populate in the footer of your blog post without you needing to do anything. And finally, let's finish off the tutorial with how to hide this, proudly powered by WordPress. Now, this is totally up to you whether or not you want to hide it or not. I personally want to hide it because I don't want an external link to WordPress. I don't want people navigating to the bottom of my site and then clicking on this then navigating over to WordPress. Like my niche website is about iPhone photography. Like I don't want people directing people to WordPress.org. It's completely irrelevant. So anyways, we have to hide it. So unfortunately within the theme, there's no setting just to turn off, click a button and turn off. We actually have to use a little bit of CSS, but it's not too complicated. So the CSS we're going to be using is display none. So this is in brackets, okay? And then you just write in display none. Now display none for what? We have to figure out what this element on the page is called. So let's go ahead and highlight it. Then you want to click, and then you want to click on inspect. Then you just want to pay attention to. So it's div class powered by. Okay. So it's powered by. So I'll click over here, type in dot, and I'll just type in powered dash by. There we go. That's it. So now we can take this whole entire thing. This is the CSS that will hide the powered by WordPress, because we're going to display none. We're going to display none for this specific div class. So we'll take that. Okay. Now we need to go to customize. And all you want to do is just navigate to additional CSS, then right click, paste. Okay, so we pasted in powered by display none. We navigate to the bottom there, and it's gone. Anyways, that is it for this tutorial. All right, everybody, that is it for this tutorial video on the 2021 theme from WordPress. If you enjoyed it, consider subscribing, hit that like button. My name is David, websitecreatorpro.com. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good day. Bye-bye.